All right, guys, today we're going to kind of go over Engineering 101, pure air Engineering 101. Talking about just the design of our equipment and such. We're going to just start off talking in general about the different types that we have, and then from there we'll get into detail of what's important on each type with it. I'm going to videotape it so we can document a lot of this. And actually what we're starting is going to be what's called a SharePoint site. And a SharePoint is going to be like a lot like a Wikipedia. And so when we have these kind of engineering things that come up that we need to say, like, oh, make sure we always have this, like, make sure we always have a baffle in the middle of an ETS or a radial flow or PBS design fill chute, we can make sure we add that into it. So it's not one of these things where we always have to remember in the future. So it's going to be a central design repository. You guys are going to be able to get in there and add things to it periodically for approval, just kind of like Wikipedia does. So it's actually kind of set up now, and we just need to figure out how to structure it with it. So anyway, so this will be kind of the first part. My talk will be kind of the basis for the structure of the SharePoint site, and then we'll be adding to it as we remember things that were forgotten about. So I guess the first thing to go over with you guys is the three types, the overall three types. Well, it's actually just two types. Overall, two types of adsorbent systems that we have. So they're deep bed and cassette types. Okay, so deep bed types. If we want to put deep bed, okay, we have the drum scrubber. We have the VBS, which stands for vertical bed scrubber. We have the
VT.
Yeah, I want to think about the order I want to do this in. The RF, which is radial flow, or we also call it the Vortex. That's kind of our brand name for it, is the Vortex system. All right. Then we have the PBS, and the PBS is the packed bed scrubber. And then we have the VTS, which is the V-bank transition scrubber or system. I don't know if it's system or scrubber. I think it's system. Okay, VTS and V. I'm not missing any deep beds there, right? I don't think so. VTS, right? And then, aside from the deep bed, we basically just have what we would call the cassette type, which is the SAH model and the PFU. Right, SAH stands for side access housing, and the PFU stands for packaged filter unit. All right, and these are very, very similar units, actually, believe it or not. The PFU is, you could almost say, is almost identical to one of the SAH models, and we'll cover that later on with it, but they're kind of used differently, so that's why they're separate units, and we'll discuss that. Now, under the SAH unit, there's actually three types, okay? There's the SAH 18, the SAH 12, and the SAH M. The SAH 18 uses PP18 cassettes, the SAH 12 uses the PP12 cassettes, and the SHM uses our matrix filters, okay? That's going to be the subject for tomorrow, talking about SH stuff. All right, so we won't really cover SH tomorrow. We'll get into that later on. today's gonna be all about deep bed systems.